John boy, what was you doing up there in that room off the door locked? It's a Christmas movie, Mama. Stop it. I was wrapping presents. Really? Anyway, hi, welcome to Chubs Gone Wild. We're just having a Patricia Neal moment.
And if, by the way, it would have been I was wrapping packages.
Oh, unwrapping packages, as the case may be. I
Oh,
was
that's true.
making eggnog, Mama. What?
You didn't circumcise me, Mom. I had to unpack first.
Anyway, that's from the Waltons Homecoming, which I watch every year. And I'll tell you, the first time I watched it, I was like, you know what? I'm never gonna watch this piece of poop again. And then it became like one of my cheesy favorites. I just love it.
Well, that was basically the pilot for the series.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm glad because I mean I liked the series.
I hated the Waltons.
See, I did, but I guess because I was a kid and I was kind of forced to watch it. So I have it's kind of like Little House. It's like I don't know why I love the show so much. Every time it was like, oh, there's a plague or a fire or somebody died or it was always some horrible thing. And yet I'm like, oh, it was such a fun, wholesome show. No.
Yeah, it was horrible. That and Highway to Heaven, anything with Michael Landon past.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
I did like him though. But it was kind of interesting how he was always doing these like heavy Christian shows, and yet he was Jewish. So that's odd. But the other thing in Homecoming that I loved was when Elizabeth gets that doll from the charity person, and then it's all got this smashed face, and she's like, "It's dead. Somebody killed it." I was just laughing. Anyway, welcome to Chubs Gone Wild, episode 422. Recorded on December 13th, 2021, where it is 52 degrees and rainy as you can believe outside. Sorry, Auntie Vera.
Oh, by the way, yesterday, I can't remember when it was. It was like 3:30. We had topped last year's total rainfall.
Wow.
In 2 months?
Wow.
But we did the entire 12 months of last season. So
wow. Well,
but last season was so awful that it was like, okay, it really wasn't a tall bar to hit, but still something interesting.
Yeah, and good. We need it as long as we can hold on to it. But I know we'll have more, but you just sent me a thing. We're about to have like torrential rains here in just a couple hours, so that's going to be fun.
Well, yeah, and they're saying up in the Sierras, because right now as of, let's say, last Friday, none of the places were opening really to ski because there was literally no snow, and the temperatures were too high to actually make snow. So a lot of them had not opened yet. So now they're going to have anywhere between 7 and 9 feet of snow. I think they'll be open for Christmas.
I hope so. That's great. Of course, we're here talking about 9 feet of snow and being all like, oh my God, things are going to be open for Christmas, and stuff. And of course, you know what? All I could see was like Timmy Sims sitting in his rocking chair in his little dark house with his dogs at his feet, like filing his nails and rolling his eyes, like, it's like over 9 feet. And outside, he's like snowed in.
Well, how about the tornadoes in the Midwest?
Oh my God!
Yeah, I was watching the news, and the place where there was a candle factory that got hit.
Yeah.
And the woman's going, well, behind me at this candle factory that, well, as you can see, is literally no longer here. There were 100 people in this building when the tornado hit. And it's like, okay, there's no building there, bitch. What are you talking about? And she's like going, oh, it's scattered across the county right now, most of the building. And it went through like like somebody went through with what are those? Remember those things? They put over the pavement after they lay down the tar, and then they roll steamroller kind of thing.
Yeah, yeah.
That's what it looked like. A steamroller.
Yeah.
There was like a tree that had been yanked out, so there's just the bottom of the stump sitting there. You go, well, that used to be a tree. Yeah, so it's crazy.
Scary
So
as heck. And
definitely chub hugs out to those people today.
Yeah. Yep. Absolutely. That's insane. You know what else is insane? It's not as insane as that because that's like bad insane. But no, you know what? I will bring it up later because I want to talk about it during my week. Okay, so let's move on. It is 8 days until solstice, 12 until Christmas, 13 till Kwanzaa, 19 till New Year's Eve, and 322 days until Halloween when it all starts all over again. Yay! So long. Oh. Anyway, it's also 29 days until the season 2 premiere of Call Me Kat.
Which nobody's going to watch but you.
I don't care. I will watch it and rewatch it and rewatch it until I have those numbers so high they can't cancel it and they'll bring it back for a 3rd season. Yay! Well, let's find out what happened this day in history. In 2013, Vice President Al Gore, excuse me a moment, concedes to defeat to George W. Bush in his bid for the presidency.
Wait, what date?
2013.
No.
That is what this said. That is wrong.
That would be 2000.
Yeah, wouldn't it be like 2003 or something?
No, it was 2000.
2000? Okay, wow. They got okay. Well, something got screwed up there, but yeah, I was gonna say that's not right. But this is the 13th, so maybe it meant December 13th in 2000.
Sure.
That was a very big changing point in our history because that's when things got worse. Anyway, moving on. In 2019, 16-year-old climate activist Greta Thunberg became Times Person of the Year. Also in 2003, Saddam Hussein was captured. Sorry, I'm trying to pause so that people don't have to listen to my coughing. Also, in 1577, explorer Francis Drake set sail from England.
Really?
And,
December?
Yeah, it's like, what's that about?
That seems kind of stupid.
Yeah.
But I guess the hurricane season is over, but I still think you'd have all those winter storms.
Well, you know, it was England, so I guess he wanted to get away from the snow. I don't know. And in 1918, Woodrow Wilson arrived in France for World War I peace talks. That was pretty cool. It worked. I'm just saying.
And what year was that?
That would be 1918.
Okay.
Yeah. World War I.
I know.
Which gets confused with World War II.
Never.
Sometimes. Anyway, well, let's see what holidays we may have accidentally celebrated today. It's Green Day. No, Green Monday. Green Monday. No green on me. Ice cream?
That's what it means. Okay.
Oh.
Go ahead.
Ice cream. Nope.
No.
Cocoa. I did have some chocolate.
No.
No. Okay. National Day of the Horse.
Well, that's every day for me.
Oh, winky. So, National Violin Day and Pick a Pathologist Pal Day. I don't even know what that means. So we're just going to move on so we can stay friends. Today's affirmation: life brings me only good experiences. I am open to new and wonderful changes. Well, I'll have to sit on that for a little bit. Patreon offers folks a way to support creators and receive rewards not open to the general public, like special podcasts, books, videos, and more. And we'd like to thank our current patrons, even the ones that keep texting. Clint, Nephi, Nick, DJ, Starsage from Univaz, Eric, Sean, Brother Sinatus, Phoenix Dave, and Moose P. Please visit patreon.com/Matt Burlingame and think about becoming a patron of the show. And we love you. We do. Chub hugs. All right. Let's get into birthdays. Oh, today's birthdays are Tyler Smith and Turnip Head. Turnip Head. Jason. We love him. We love Turnip Head. No happy birthday for Turnip Head? No? Okay. Well. Also, Tracy. He is a Pride 48er, and we love him. Also, Rod. Oh, that Matthew Crean Higgins, the playwright, the actor, the activist, who we met when he came out here to do Recovery Mode. Yay! Famous playwright. Also, author Judson Day. We've got Christopher, our power listener Christopher. He has a birthday coming up. Also, JJ, Matt, Drew O'Brien, the author, the amazing husband to Auntie Vera, also known as Gooch. His birthday is coming up. Very excited about that. Also, radio personality Melissa Davis. We have Theron, that Kenty, formerly of the Flatus Show, that power listener Joe Abzubia. Also, Kira, Josh, Tay, Jackie, and author Michael Gorman. Wow. Lots and lots of good birthdays coming up. All right. Let's see what's going on. Well, it turns out, hold on. Take over.
It turns out that
okay, thank you. We are moving on to, what are we moving on to? We're moving on to feedback. We don't have any feedback this time. Yeah, thank you for your support there. Anyway, but we do have some Chub hugs that we want to send out, and one of them is to a message that just came in, Mr. Michael Sage, who is down in Southern California and under flood watch at the moment. So, yeah. Also, I want to send some Chub hugs out to Sean Murray, one of our former actors and an absolutely fun person to hang out with. And he he broke his hip. He is like 40, early 40s, fit as a fiddle, absolutely just an adorable person. He was in his apartment. He fell. He couldn't get up. He had his phone, thankfully. So he had to phone the fire people. He couldn't get to the door because obviously he broke his hip. So they had to break his door down. And on top of everything else, he was naked. So he's like, this was an absolute nightmare. And I assured him that, number one, I had seen that movie, although the firemen were also naked. But number two, trust me, they see this stuff all the time. With my father, they see this stuff all the time, and trust me, he gave them a much better show than they've probably seen in a long time.
So the pictures?
Sadly, not that I know of, but
okay.
Right now, yeah, he's still not quite in a joking mood because.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No. I was joking, and he's not quite there yet. He'll get there though. He's a sweetheart. Also, want to send love out to Adam Michael, who is dealing with his mom in the final stages of dementia and very, very sick and may pass soon. And also, speaking of another our friend Craig the Freak Geek. He is his mother is has dementia, and he actually his mom has gotten to the point where she's so paranoid that everybody's stealing from her that she took all the money that they had, like even in savings, and carried it in her purse, and then someone stole the purse. So they have nothing now, absolutely nothing. And he is dealing with that. And so there is a going to be on the Chubs Gone Wild page, there will be a link to a PayPal for him. And if anyone has a little bit to spare, I am sure that he would be very appreciative of that. Putting it out there. All right, moving on. No, I cannot move on. Tom, I'm so sorry. Do you have any Chub hugs that you want to send out other than to the storm victims?
No, that's my, all the people affected right now with major storms, especially in the Midwest. Yeah, it's be safe, keep warm. Terrible.
Okay, cool. Let's get into some current topics. Currently, Chile has passed marriage equality by a wide margin. That's pretty cool. Seventh grader, this is not cool. A seventh grader has died by suicide after classmates told him he'd go to hell for being gay. Another fucking reason that I can't stand dogmatic, organized religion bullshit. Cameron Best becomes the first out pansexual person to go into space. And Wonder Woman is in a queer romance with DC Comics in the new series, in the Dark Knights of Steel series. Wonder Woman will share a romantic kiss with a new character, Princess Zala-El. I love it! I want Wonder Woman to be a wonderful lesbian, pansexual, bisexual, whatever. I love her, and the more that she's just a strong, awesome character, the better.
Okay, so for my week, let's see.
Well,
I did want to I think, are you going to be talking about Hawkeye?
yeah.
Okay.
But go for it.
No, I'll wait and talk when you do.
Okay.
Let's see. Jurassic Park Camp, or whatever it's called, the animated series, back again for a fourth season.
Wow.
They're churning them out like crazy too. So, good for them. Let's see. The Big Leap finished this last week. They had their finale last week. They had the week before they started their finale on the show, because it's a reality show, scripted reality show, basically. So they were having their finale last week, but then the power went out. So our finale this week was they got the power back on. They finished doing their show, and it was pretty goofy, but still enjoyable. And they left it open so they could have a season 2 if Fox lets them have it. But then again, if they can have Call Me Cat back, I don't see why they can't bring this show back. So
right.
Let's see, on the Masked Singer, they had they demasked the Banana Split, which was Catherine McPhee and David Foster, which I said last week and every week since they've appeared that it was them. So I feel really good about that. Let's see, Invasion had their finale, and so they last week's episode they killed the monsters, but this week, or the aliens, but this week a lot of people were not really comfortable with saying that they were gone for good. And of course, at the end, we realized that they left little things, like, okay, those things that catch onto your socks when you're out in weeds, and they're like little tumbleweed things with the little spikes in them. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, they have something like that, but they're black and spiky, and they're growing. So season 2, if Apple TV gives it, that's where we're going. I've been catching up on Lost in Space. I know you're done with it, but I remember back when, because I watched the original series when it came out, and it was every Wednesday night for me. It was just, oh my God. And I mean, sure, there was Star Trek on at the same time, and it was fantastic, which I also love. But Lost in Space had a character my age. So it was somebody I could relate to. Now I look back at it and I go, oh my God, these are terrible. Oh my God, the sets are awful. The oh my God, how was I so and because these are so good. The Netflix series is so good, and I'm just thinking if Irwin Allen had just sunk a little more cash into the look of the thing, the shows would have been so much better. Let's see. I started Coming Out Colton on Netflix,
oh, yes. Yeah,
which is about Colton Underwood, ex-football player coming out, and he was a bachelor, the virgin bachelor, but the reason why he's a virgin was because he doesn't touch pussy. So, but he is just so cute. He is so cute.
Yeah. And what do you think about all the flack that was like about another, cisgender, white, gay, privileged, rich guy, and so it was. What did you think about all that flack?
Well, I'm just tired of people telling me and you and other gay people that because we're white males that our struggle wasn't real. And that's, I think that's what pisses me off more than anything about this is don't tell me that my struggle wasn't real just because things are more comfortable now for me because of 60 years of putting up with shit that my journey wasn't valid now in your eyes. So fuck you. I don't care. Okay. I know what I went through. I know what, limitations I had. And it pisses me off when they can just disregard it so easily. So that's what I think, about that. That's what I feel. And you can't tell this guy that when he was in a locker room listening to guys make fun of gay people, that it wasn't terrifying for him, that he's going to get exposed, he's going to get hurt, he's going to get humiliated. Some kid killed himself, I don't know what color he was, but what if he's a white kid who kills himself because his friends or the bullies are telling him that he's going to go to hell for being gay? His struggle isn't good enough for you because he's white? That's my argument. Thank you. Okay. Queen of the Universe, which is it's a drag queen show produced by RuPaul that has drag queens actually singing live. It's no lip syncing. They're not lip syncing for their life. They are singing for their life. And some of them are incredible, just incredible. So that's on, I think it's just Paramount Plus. It could be on VH1 too, but I don't know for sure. But it's a good show. On HBO Max, there's a new show, an animated series called Santa Inc. And this is Sarah Silverman and Seth Rogen. And Seth Rogen plays Santa. Sarah Silverman plays like a chief elf and Santa's looking to replace. He's going to retire, so he's looking for his replacement, and she wants the job. And it's filthy. It's absolutely filthy. So if you don't like a little dirty Christmas, then you're not going to want to watch this. But I think you'll like it because you keep going back to that Homecoming, the Waltons' Christmas every year. So obviously, you're not afraid of like that kind of non-traditional. So, but that's fun. Finished L's on Netflix, which you had watched a couple weeks ago. And it's here's another non-traditional Christmas show
Mhm.
about killer elves on some Norwegian island that people are Christmasing on. So it's the best thing I can say for it is it's 6 episodes. They're less than 30 minutes apiece,
Uh-huh.
and if I was mentioning this to Brian yesterday that I was watching the first episode, and anymore. I'm sorry, the iPad has ruined entertainment for me. I can't. It's like I sit there and get mad at Sean because you're not even watching the show, and I'm thinking, oh, as I'm playing solitaire on my iPad,
Uh-huh.
it's such a hypocrite. But the first episode ended and the second episode started, and I didn't realize it until about halfway through the second episode that we had moved on to the second episode.
Uh-huh.
They're so easy to go through is
They
my
are.
so I did watch last night Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer,
Mhm.
and this is the version where he finds the peppermint mine at the end, and there's a few extra scenes. All the songs are back intact, like We Are Santa's Elves has the musical interlude and the second verse, which you don't hear on the current CBS one because they had to edit shit out for more commercials. So
Uh-huh.
it's really best if you're going to watch the old Rankin Bass stuff, is get them on disc or
Yes.
digital and watch them because you're going to see the entire show and not what's been edited for to fit more commercials in.
Hey, real quick before you move on, with elves, do you agree it was her fault?
Um, no, it was the family's fault for hitting that thing to begin with. They
Oh,
went off the road. They weren't supposed to be on that road.
see, there's other people that are telling me that it was the old woman's fault for creating that culture.
Well, probably. I mean, yes.
But
I
I
mean,
just wanted to speak
definitely
in that
yes.
style. Yes, it is your fault.
Because I don't think that the elves would have been such demons as they appeared to be if they had not been chained up as prisoners and locked away.
I agree.
So, bunch of movies this week. I mean, I was just tearing them down. Bitch That Stole Christmas on VH1 with RuPaul. Did I talk about this last week?
You mentioned, yeah, because you told me to watch it, and
Okay,
I got
yes.
it, so I could.
Definitely fun. If you like the old Hallmark movies, then this is so much fun, and so is Single All the Way, which is on Netflix. And this is Michael Urie and Kathy Najimy and
Love
Jennifer
it.
Coolidge. It's just
Oh, interesting.
it's a gay positive Hallmark movie, even though it's not a Hallmark movie, but it's everything that you have in a Hallmark movie, including the lead from many Hallmark movies as one of the gay characters, as the
Oh,
gay date. And he is really cute. And if you go and look at his filmology, it's just one Christmas Hallmark movie after another,
yeah.
like a decade. It's crazy. So Single All the Way, I loved it, loved it, loved it. I cried. It's like this is the Christmas love story show that I've been waiting for.
Nice.
And at one point they're talking about gay people, and Jennifer Coolidge goes, "Gay people, they love me. I don't know why." And that's your character, but I'm thinking, that could have been ad-libbed because we love her, and I'm not really sure why, but we do.
We do.
So
Yeah.
I watched one called "It Happened on Fifth Avenue," which is from 1947, and it's made the same year as It's Wonderful Life. And Frank Capra, who directed It's Wonderful Life, was actually going to make this movie, but he went over and did It's Wonderful Life instead. And this movie it's actually a really good movie, except for the lead character is so terrible that there's points in the show where I'm just screaming at the TV. He was so very, very awful. And I don't know if it was because I don't recognize the actor. I don't know if it was him or the script or the direction, but he was really fucking irritating. On HBO Max, a new show called 8-Bit Christmas, which is let's see, it's how can I put it? It's kind of a Christmas story, but placed in 1987 when the first Nintendo came out, and so all the kids want the Nintendo instead of the BB gun, So it's all the kids trying to get Nintendos for Christmas. So it felt so much like a Christmas story. It was ridiculous, including the ending where the father comes through at the end, and the kid really learns about Christmas, and and it was. I'm not saying it wasn't enjoyable, but it's just you're sitting there going, "Oh my God, this is so much like that." It's hard to and I know how it's going to end. The ending was a little tweaked, but it just was so familiar that it felt like a ripoff.
Oh.
So, and then finally, I saw a show called The Boy Called Christmas. This is on Netflix as well, and I kept hearing all these wonderful things about this show, and then I watched it, and I found that I couldn't care less for any of the characters.
Huh.
I don't know what happened. I mean, it's not like me, I usually fawn over any Christmas show.
I know.
But this one it was boring. The only part that I liked was the stolen part from The Princess Bride, because Maggie Smith comes in. She's the babysitter coming at the last minute on Christmas Eve, and she's telling this story about The Boy Called Christmas, and so every once in a while they'll break and go, "Wait, this is probably too much for you. It's too late. Why don't you guys go to bed, and then I'll tell you the rest of the story next year." No, we want to know now. We got to know now. Yeah. And so that part was kind of fun, even though it was obvious ripoff. But the rest of the show, I didn't like the story. I didn't like the main character. It's kind of mean spirited, a lot of ugliness. So yeah, I don't know. I was disappointed with it because I don't think it's because I was overhyped. I just think it just did not connect with me.
Okay.
So other than that, I've got my grapefruits ready to candy. I've got most of my stuff from my Hello Dollies, which is just a layered cookie with coconut and butterscotch and chocolate. I think I've got everything. I can make them now, but I can't make 3 batches. I think I only have enough for 2 batches. So I'll need to get more. And then I am going to make some because I candy the grapefruit rinds, but year after year, I don't like grapefruits per se. So I've been throwing them away because I can't find anybody that'll eat them. And so this last year I made up marmalade.
Oh yeah, that's right.
And so this year I'm going to attempt to make the marmalade up and have it ready for Christmas. So
that's awesome.
Yeah, cool. And that's it. Otherwise, I'm just hunkering down. Oh, by the way, if you get a chance to go to Popeyes, get their nuggets and get the nuggets. And that comes with get the Cajun fries because they're fantastic, and a drink, and it's like $7 for like 12 nuggets, and they're big nuggets. So don't think tiny big nuggets. Oh my God, it's so good. They just opened a Popeyes like less than a mile from my house. I'm so excited.
Well, funny is speaking of Popeyes, because you had told me that yesterday. I had finished recording with Mr. Clint, our other show, and you had told me about the Popeyes opening and showed me the beautiful picture, and I said, I want chicken strips. 2 hours later, Mr. Lawrence is on his way home from a work project where he had to work on the weekend, and he texts me and says, hey, I found a Popeyes. I'm stopping and I'm bringing home chicken strips. I was just like, oh, it's meant to be. It's a Christmas miracle. So yeah, well, Yule here. But yeah, so they were wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. I don't care for any of the sides though.
Oh, did you try the fries though?
No. He did not bring home any fries.
Try next time Cajun fries. They sound like they're spicy. They're really not. They're just really seasoned well.
Oh, oh, I love good seasoned fries.
Yeah. And they're crispy.
Have you eaten at the Hawaiian place downtown that used to be the old Original Pete's?
If is it like a something like H&R Hawaiian?
Luau or
No, I have not.
okay. Give that a try. It's right across from the old This Side Up office. But yeah, it actually their food is pretty good. Especially the main thing is their fries are just perfect. They're like the perfect fry. So make sure you get a plate of those.
Okay.
Anyway, for me, hey, I had an adventure. So I've been complaining that Diet Coke is almost $8 for a 12-pack here, and I've been really upset by this. And okay, so anyway, I just on a whim I went on the Safeway site to look at their ordering system, and I looked up Diet Coke because on Amazon it's either they don't have it or it's so expensive that I can't really afford it. I didn't know it was a luxury item now. Anyway, I went on to the Safeway website and it was under $5 for a 12-pack.
It was
I don't know whether
that is not a sale.
It is when it's $8 bucks.
Okay, Food Co has them for $4.98. That's their regular price, and we won't buy them unless they're under $4.
Well, that's because privileged people with a lot of money end up getting things really cheap. I, however,
that makes no sense.
I know. Shut up. I ended up finding it for under $5. I was really happy. I ordered 6 cases of it.
Well, I'll tell you, I would pay $5 easily if he would let me, but he's like, we will not pay more than $3.99, and especially when 2 weeks ago they were $2.50 everywhere.
Oh my god! Now yes, and I got 2 of those, but I mean, as soon as those hit that price, that shit was off the shelf. I actually saw somebody with a cart full of them walking away.
Oh yeah. It's because it's like it's our blood. We must have our Diet Cokes.
I know.
I'm down to half of the box left, and believe me, if it doesn't go on sale this week, I'm over at Food Co and I'm buying them for $4.98. That's all I have to say.
Well, well, okay, Food Co. I'll remember that because I'm good. If it's like $5 or under, I'm good. But when it's $8 for 12 cans of it, no freaking way.
Well, and Amazon is ridiculous. I wouldn't even consider it.
And but that's the thing is it was Safeway that has them for $8. But when I went online, it had it for just under $5. So
right.
Anyway. All right. Next up, let's see. I just wanted to give a shout out to Artie O'Daly and his crew. There's a short film series on YouTube called Bad Boy. It is funny as fuck, and it's got a little bit of titillation. I can't even explain it to you. It just brings in all sorts of elements of crazy, but it is like good, fun, crazy. So just look up the Bad Boy short film series on YouTube. It'll pop up. There's like, I don't know, 24 of them now or something because they've been doing it for 2 years. Watch from the beginning. It is hilarious. And if you like just a little bit of titillation with some, shirtless guys and stuff like that, but not in a like stupid way. Anyway, go watch it. I did finally watch all of the Great British Baking Show. I was a little surprised, but absolutely fine with who won.
Yeah, that was fine.
Yeah. I did kind of hope that it would have been Chig, but I'm okay.
Because I figured that if he won,
he
would have stripped off his shirt and run around with the plate.
Yes, that would have been really hot too.
Yeah.
So, and and as soon as it was done, I watched the new holiday one. the fourth one, and that one had Henry on it, and he's so adorable. Um, so watched a little bit of that, and when it was over, it automatically loops, and it looped back to not the very first ones, but the earlier ones with Sue and Mel.
Okay.
I miss them so much. They were funny. They were supportive. They were funny. They were like
Under contract with the other people.
I know, but I loved them. And now we have, and I like Matt Lucas, but not on this. He's just ew.
Well, I don't like the other guy, so.
Oh, you don't like no, I didn't like him at first either, but I'm okay with him. But I just want Mel and Sue back. Anyway, moving on. Because of you, I watched Olaf Presents. Very cute, very funny. So yeah, I mean, not much to say. They're little shorts where he kind of explains a couple of the Disney movies. It was fun.
Yeah, I mean, it's we're talking
Short,
10 minutes worth of entertainment.
Yeah. I watched Father Knows Best Christmas from 1977 again. Again, it was what it was. I just watch it every year. Sugar Rush Christmas Season 2, I watched. I am so thankful that the host has that beard. He's so adorable with the beard. And it's just a fun, light entertainment. At night, I haven't really been feeling like feeling sitcom-y while I'm waiting to go to fall asleep. So I've been watching the Holiday Baking Championship on Discovery Plus. Have you seen this?
Yes. Now,
Okay.
which one is this the one where they're making cakes, cookies, sculptures? Which one?
This is mainly cookies, cakes.
Okay.
It's got the cute host. Yeah, I don't know, but it's the Holiday Championship. And this is season 7 and 8. I'm watching. They're still in the middle of 8. They haven't been decided. It's still running, but they have all the other seasons, for streaming back to back, and so it's
I watched all the Christmas ones.
Cool.
Yeah.
So then I watched a movie called David and the Elves, which is, oh, I thought I had it written down. What is it? It is Polish. It's a Polish film. It is, of course, dubbed over in English, and it's basically about this. They have this figure named Alfred, who is like the head elf, the Christmas elf. And he's like part of their lore, and but they can never be seen, but he believes that he was seen and that everybody loves him, and he wants to go experience real world and get the Christmas spirit because everybody loves him. And of course he goes into the real world, and it all falls apart because people are like, oh my god. So yeah. And then he of course fades away into nothing because nobody believes in him except for this one little boy who gets his parents to believe in him, and then he comes back and all that stuff. And sorry, it's not spoilers. You learn all that just by watching the preview. So it's not bad. If you just want a good holiday watch it. But frankly, none of the characters are really likable. The best thing about it is Mrs. Claus, who, if they did an English, movie of this from in America or something, Jennifer Coolidge would be absolutely perfect to play Mrs. Claus. Anyway, and then I watched Jingle Jangle: A Christmas Story, which I guess came out last year, and it is basically it does the same thing. It takes the Princess Bride thing where there's a woman reading to her grandkids, and although this is Mrs. Cosby, what's her name? Felicia Rashad, who reads to her children and tells a tale of long ago when her father was the her grandfather was the best inventor. And I really wanted to like this. It is a black driven cast. It's got African and black influence, jazz, kind of jazz in the music, but also they tried to make the music very Broadway, and it was just pedestrian Broadway. There were no numbers that stood out and just made you love it. And the thing went on too long, and it was just the book was flat and predictable. I wanted so much to like this, and I just
Well, it wanted to be better than it was.
yeah. I wanted them to take this and rework it and make it into something really better than it was, because it has so much potential and life to it. But and then I did watch A Boy Called Christmas. I loved it. Although I will say that I didn't necessarily connect to the characters that much. I mean, the most moving moment was a spoiler, so I'm not going to say anything about it. But anyway, it's not that I necessarily connected to the characters that much, but by the end of it, I was like all teary and stuff. I really enjoyed it. And actually, somebody that doesn't really like Christmas films, I got to watch it, and they absolutely loved it too. So I'm sorry that you didn't connect to it, but we don't always connect to everything. And then finally, Hawkeye. I watched up all the episodes of Hawkeye, and you said you wanted to talk about that too. I think it's absolutely brilliant.
Well, the thing about Marvel is that they come up with really tight these little shows that they're using on Disney Plus, like Loki and like the Falcon and the Winter Soldier. They're really interesting. They're well made. WandaVision, entertaining. I love it because as Disney has found that some characters aren't big enough for the big screen, but they're perfect for this kind of streaming.
Yep.
And so I really enjoyed. I'm enjoying it. There's still more episodes coming. I think there's 5 or maybe 6.
Yeah.
But what I loved was Disney kept promoting it as a Christmas show. They'd have Christmas lights around Hawkeye, and I'm like, what? And then I'm watching it, and I mean, it takes place at Christmas, and Brian's old adage is if anything takes place at Christmas in the movie, it becomes a Christmas movie. So, but it's fun, and we were laughing because Disney has made sure that they checked all the boxes that Netflix demands for its shows. Has to have a gay character, has to have a character with a disability, has to have characters of different cultures and race, and it was just I know I'm watching it going check 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 check. I remember there was a Modern Family where Haley was looking at colleges, and she goes wow, look how diverse all the kids are. Wait, shouldn't they have an Indian kid? Oh, he's the one in the wheelchair. Oh, there you go. Okay. So it was just like, yep. I mean, there's a McDonald's near my house, and they have, you should join our team. And they've got like a non-binary looks like it could be a boy or a girl, but they don't say. There's a black a character. There's an like, let's say a darker, I would say something Middle Eastern looking person, and the transitioning person is the white person, and then there's what was it? I'm missing one. Oh, there's a Latina there, and it's just like everybody is making sure they check all the boxes.
Yeah, and you know what? I love it. And I texted you last night because I was kind of laughing at it. I was like looking at this, and I'm like, as soon as the bad character walked on the screen, and I'm like, okay, so we have 2 people, one hearing impaired, one deaf. We have somebody with a missing leg, We have a dog with one eye, and where's the lesbian? And or I wouldn't say lesbian. I'm like, where's the gay character or the transgender lesbian or whatever I said? And sure enough, it was not 20 minutes later that the one character walks in and says, "Now be careful with this. My wife made it for me." And I'm like, and we have the lesbian. So
And I did when Matt and I were discussing this, I did send him a picture of the dog because I know that he'd look at that dog and he'd be like, "Really? The dog has to have one eye?" And then I showed him that the dog really has two eyes, that he was acting.
yes,
So,
but I love it. I love seeing the diversity and shit now, and the fact that we can see it now. That no, I know that within like 10 years, it's going to be like nobody, like kids and stuff that watch this and grew up with it and everything, are just gonna like not even question it.
yeah,
Not even gonna be like a check for them. It's just gonna be normalized, and I love that.
you didn't have to see Saturday Night Live this week, did you?
No. Mm-mm.
There's this one really funny skit. Well, there were a couple really funny skits, but there's this one really funny skit where um, uh, Billie Eilish is a young girl, and she's looking out her window. It's like big, tall apartments in New York, and she's looking across the way, and she sees this old woman eating by her Christmas dinner by herself, and she goes, "Merry Christmas," holds up a sign, "Merry Christmas," and the old woman holds up a sign that says, "You too." And she goes, "Would you like to come have Christmas dinner with us?" And the old woman holds up a sign going, "Will there be any black people there?"
Oh God.
and then she goes, "No," and she goes, "Jews."
Oh no.
And it's like, it's so funny because we think it's all, hands grasped, and let's be kind and wonderful to each other, and then someone throws out, will they be Jews there?"
Oh my God. Yeah, but it's
And
true.
you know what? But what the good thing is that years from now, those people are going to get called on by their grandchildren and their great grandchildren
Yes.
on, "Shut the fuck up, Granny, you
Uh-huh.
old racist bitch."
Oh, and yes, more of that, please.
Yes. So,
Awesome.
yeah.
Okay, well, let's move on to talking about how awesome Fat Marker clothing is, and they want to remind you to be loud, be proud, be too much, and to be you. Fat Marker Clothing wants those of us who've been told that we are too much of something to turn those negatives into positives, and you can do that by using the code FMWildChub, Chubs listeners, to get anything while over at Fat Market Clothing for 20% off. Also, we want to remind you to go to our Facebook group, facebook.com/ChubsGoneWild, and check out the link there to join the Queer Romance Inc. news or email list, and you will get 4 books free, ebooks, like for your Kindle. 4 of them, major releases, free, including this week you'll get Last Romance if you don't have it. So yay. So that's pretty cool. All right, here we go. Advice. This comes from Gio Prudi over at slate.com. Go check them out. Support them. Buy a subscription. Write them a letter. You might need to. All right. When I was in high school and college, the main way I dealt with my anxiety was to tell lies. It got really bad. I had to confront myself about it, and thankfully, I cleaned up my act. I've been very good for a while, but I slipped up in a minor, stupid way. A couple months ago, I took a vacation and I told all my coworkers I went to a different place than I actually did. Something like saying I went to Chicago when I actually went to New York instead. I have now started dating one of those now ex-coworkers, and it's likely that Jill will at some point be faced with the hard evidence that I straight up fabricated a vacation. I'd like to get it out, and I'd like to get out in front of that and tell her it's for the best she knows about this mostly past problem, but I'm really at a loss of how to approach this conversation. I don't want her thinking I'm a deceptive, manipulative jerk, But I know it'll be hard to convince her that this stupid thing is the only lie I've told in years. Trying to be truthful.
Tell her.
Yeah.
This is dumb. Come on, who didn't lie in high school and college, to make yourself up a little bit better than you were? Everyone does that. But in saying that, and she says, well, why did you lie about that? Just go, the New York vacation wasn't as good as I wanted it to be, and everyone wanted to hear a better story. So I made one up. Oh, okay. Who cares?
Okay. Well, I would just say, yeah, pretty much the same thing, actually. But, and don't do it in the future because you're going to get caught. Dear Trying, this is what Dear Prudie had to say. You should tell her exactly like you told me here. I have something to tell you really embarrassing. When I was in high school and college, the main way I dealt with anxiety was to tell lies. It got really bad. I had to confront myself about it. And thankfully, I cleaned up my act. I've been very good for a while, but I slipped up a couple. You're just repeating the letter, Prudie.
I know.
Oh, wait. Okay, here's the new stuff. I don't know why I did it, but I wanted to come clean with to you before you found out, especially because we're dating and I want you to be able to believe what I say. I can understand if you have a hard time believing that this is the only lie I've ever told in years, and I hope you can have I can have the opportunity to regain your trust. She'll have an easier time believing that you're taking this seriously if you tell her you're addressing it with a therapist, not just figuring out how to stop lying, but getting to the deeper issue that made you cope with stress this way in the first place. So do that for your relationship, but also for yourself, because you don't want to be in this situation again. Sound smart?
Boo.
Go see a therapist, you lying bastard. Anyway, whatever. I hope you get some help. But am I lying? All right. Hey, Chubs, are you in the holiday mood?
As much as I'm going to be.
Yeah, I'm getting there. Hey, Chubs, eggnog. Yes,
No.
I say yes, although not with the alcohol.
I don't drink milk, so
right.
And whole
There's
milk.
Lactaid.
Whole milk is disgusting. Eggnog is worse.
Well, I will tell you that Lactaid whole milk is absolutely one of the most amazing, wonderful things. And I had some Lactaid eggnog a couple weeks ago, and it was actually really good. So,
it just reminds me of like drinking a big glass of cum.
Well, if you can drink that, then you can swallow, huh?
Yeah, and I can't.
Yeah.
No to both.
Sorry, Sean. Anyway, moving on. There is one other question. No, we'll just save that for next time. All right, trivia question. Dun, 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 dun. Speaking of eggnog, how much eggnog is sold each year?
I don't have any idea. I don't even know. Is it in gallons?
No, actually, it's not, which surprised me because that's what I.
What, pounds?
Yes.
Let's see. Let's go 500,000 pounds of eggnog.
That would be something that I would guess too. However, it's actually 130 million pounds of eggnog.
I don't believe it.
Every year.
I don't believe it. That's an awful lot of diarrhea, people.
That's true. Oh, and did you know that actually there is a shortage of eggnog there over the last couple of years? Anyway, don't be mean. All right. Well, we did have a couple photos that was sent in by Mr. Moose for our What's in Your Lunchbox segment.
Is that chicken?
And I know. Well, let's check. Back home and cooked dinner for the first time in about a week. baked chicken, mashed potatoes, country gravy, roasted asparagus, roasted Brussels sprouts. So glad to have real homemade food.
That looks
I like
good.
this. The stuff that you had in New York was pretty fucking tasty looking. Ordered chicken and vegetables in Thai ginger sauce. Sauce had lots of garlic and ginger and a very light fish sauce. Really good.
It looks tasty.
It does, but you know that chicken, except for them Brussels sprouts, like why would you make skunk be part of your beautiful food dish? I just
What you're talking Brussels sprouts?
little skunk balls.
Oh, they are tasty. I would have seared them just a little bit more, but they look fantastic. Ooh, and with gravy too. Ooh,
The gravy looks good. Yeah. All right. Currently, LGBTQ people of color in America have a disproportionately high rate of new HIV infections. Golden Rule Services of Sacramento want you to know about an important tool in preventing you from contracting HIV. Pre-exposure prophylaxis, aka PrEP, is a medication proven to be 99% effective in preventing HIV infection. To learn more about PrEP, call your local sexual health clinic. To find out more about Golden Rule Services, visit sacgrs.org. And you can also send us an email at chubsgonewild@gmail.com. Leave us a comment at chubsgonewild.com. Like us on Facebook, facebook.com/chubsgonewild. I got that out. Watch our videos over at youtube.com. Just go over and search for Chubs Gone Wild. We'll pop right up. Hell, go in our garden, yell Chubs Gone Wild, see if we pop right up. Anyway, consider becoming a patron of the show over at patreon.com/mattburlingame. Find Tom's movie and TV reviews over at swannerandjudd.com. Find their podcast in iTunes and iHeartRadio and pretty much everywhere else. You know, I listen on my iPhone on my Apple Music. Whenever I go to take a shower, I pop on the latest Swanner and Judd, and then and I just leave it so that every time I take a shower, I can just put it back on and.
Oh, you're touching your groin. Oh, you're washing your butt, listening to me. Okay.
Well, let's just put it in perspective that, there are some people out there that would like that. Anyway.
Hey, if you want to find out more about Matt's books, you can go to justkisstheguy.com and check out his other podcast at biggaysexshow.com. Or you can give us a call at 408-69-CHUBS.
Yay! And with that, we hope that you are having a fabulous holiday season. And don't forget that you can always give us a call or a shout out or a text or an email or whatever. And we would love to hear from you. All right. We'll catch you next time.
Bye.